Welcome to our video. Our group is composed by David Izquierdo, which is me, Laura Rodriguez, and Sofia Ortiz. We're going to be talking, as you can already guess, of Spoleto. It's a pasta company here in Colombia. Its purpose is to offer good pasta, especially like gourmet, to a food court customer. It has a price that ranges between 17,900 pesos to 26,900 pesos. And it opens usually between 12 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. To 9:30 p.m. depending on the nights and on the places. It's located on a national level. It has many places here in Bogota, and it has some distributed around the whole country. Our contact for this whole project was Brian Rosso. We have a special thanks for you. He was our contact. He is basically the CEO of the whole company, managing it here in Colombia. So we thank you very much for all your time and your efforts, and for that contact that you allowed us to have. All right, welcome. We decided to use total quality control theory by Ishikawa to try and improve quality inside of Spoleto. By doing so, we decided to focus on quality circles, which are meetings, periodic meetings, voluntary meetings by the employees to talk about specifically service-related issues or quality-related issues inside or outside the company. To do so, we decided to implement the PDCA, Plan Do Check Act tool to implement the quality circles inside the company. On the planning part, we're gonna use 4 different things. First, we're gonna talk about the times, specifically about the times on the day, which we're gonna talk about later. We've come up with 2 possible solutions using the lunches of the employees to talk about these problems, or during the mornings. We're planning on doing these meetings on Mondays. In the morning, the workload would not be as heavy, and there would be a time for talking about these issues. Second of all, we would plan which people are gonna be going. It's just simply like writing down the names that are planning on attending, and planning on who's gonna be the moderator, who's gonna be writing things down, and that's that. Third, the topics that are probably gonna come up, just tell the people, inform them we're gonna be talking about this, maybe we're gonna be talking about that, but there's also gonna be a space for problems that people can come in the meeting and express them to their teammates. And fourth, we're gonna put a time, a frame for being able to see when we wanna see the effects. So for very short term, we want to see that in less than 2 weeks. For long terms, being able to see results in 1 month. On the do part, it's very important that the person that's writing things down clearly expresses how things are going to get done, what processes they're going to take, what they're going to do specifically to change what's happening in the quality inside the company or outside. On the do part, we're also just gonna implement those things that were written down, and we consider that the economy and the budget that the company has might limit the possible solutions, but the quality circles on their own do not require so much of a budget to do them. They're basically very cheap in that sense, and they're very doable in that sense. On the verification part, verify, we're gonna be using a checklist. That's one of the tools that we were taught in class, where we're just gonna have the qualities of the things that were agreed on in the planning or in the actual meeting, and then we're gonna check just easily whether or not they were fulfilled in that time frame. And that's it. Finally, on the act part, we're gonna be checking everything that we've already done, using those checklists, the requirements that were fulfilled or were not fulfilled. We're gonna see where we have to take some measures to change certain things, and realizing those problems, things that could have caused an impediment to fulfilling those requirements. We're gonna modify them, and then being able to fulfill those requirements. More meetings could come to treat certain issues, particular issues, or just bring those topics up in future meetings in the quality circles. We also have some specific dates. It's kind of like a schedule for the company to follow. Starting on June 10th, that's a Monday, we would have our first meeting, but it's not technically a quality circle. It's more of a induction, and where we would explain what it would be about, where we would explain how it works, and that would just be an information gathering. And then the next Monday, which is the 17th of June, which is also a Monday, we would have our first meeting, in which we would just talk about the current issues. For short term, we would see them in 2 weeks, and then for long term proposals, we would see that on the 1st of July, where we would see how things are working, are they working, are people involved, which leads us to our other points, which are the obstacles that this proposal could encounter. First, it's that the employees are not engaged with the quality circle, in which we would have to see what's wrong there, whether we need to motivate them, but the whole point of a quality circle is that it's from personal interest that they're going to those meetings. Second, that the workload is very heavy. We understand that there are some seasons in the whole year where some people might have more work in some times than others, and so that would have to be taken into account, whether the meeting should be moved certain days, whether it should be stopped certain months of the year, but overall we think it could work. Finally, we realized that this would greatly help Spoleto, because the meetings would solve so many problems. In their history, Spoleto has suffered a lot with personal rotation, especially focused on kitchen. The CEO basically told us, due to the young age of the cooks, or basically because they didn't see a future in their careers in Spoleto, many of them were just leaving, and it would be a constant hiring and paying money to train them, and that was really costly for Spoleto. So basically, what quality circles would help show, or would have helped show, what the problems are, what the cooks want, everything along the process, and identify the problems, and the cooks themselves would provide a solution for why they're leaving, and keep them in Spoleto, which would be amazing. And for future problems that have not even yet arisen, it would create proactive leaders that would help see a possible problem and solve it before it even happens.